window. Since 2009, the debt everywhere has skyrocketed. The world has never seen anything like this accumulation of increase in debt. So the next bear market has to be the worst in my lifetime. I mean, it's simple arithmetic. The debt has skyrocketed everywhere. It's going to lead to a problem someday, and maybe today is someday. Or maybe it's already in.
Many experts are predicting that the world is on the brink of an economic collapse, and one of the most well-known is Jim Rogers. He is one of the world's foremost investment pundits. He is a market historian, philosopher, investor, creator of the Rogers International Commodities Index, RICI, and author of several books on investing. In an interview with Adam Taggart, Rogers warned that we are in for the biggest crash in world history. He went on to say that the current global debt levels are unsustainable and that the trigger for the collapse could be anything from a trade war to a currency crisis. Whatever the cause, Rogers believes that the crash will be worse than anything anybody has ever seen. Welcome back to our channel. In this video, we will explore why Jim Rogers believes we are already beginning to face the biggest crash in world history and how you can prepare for it. Please watch, like, and share this video. Also, drop your comments and thoughts below, and remember to subscribe to the channel for more related content similar to this. We begin with a short clip of Jim Rogers.
We had a big problem in 2008 or so, and then central banks and governments around the world started printing and spending and borrowing money like never in recorded history. So, Adam, if you give me a few $1 trillion, I'll show you a very good time. I mean, the world economy has been flooded with money and spending since then. America has never gone so deeply in debt so fast as we have done in the last decade, more than a decade now, 13 years. So yes, we're all floating on a bit of artificial stimulation. It always comes to an end, no matter how much you pump into the economy. It seems to be coming to an end. Inflation is coming back, which leads to higher interest rates. And some people are starting to say, wait a minute, this is too much debt. This is absurd. Not everybody. I mean, the Japanese are still doing it. Yeah. But some people are starting to question how much more we can do. So I'm not sure if the world has come to an end yet, but I do know it's going to come to an end eventually in the form of another bear market. And you remember 2008, we had a big problem because of too much debt. The people in the Federal Reserve are not very smart people. They're academics and bureaucrats. They mainly want to keep their job. What they will do at the first sign of some good news, and it may already be here, they will start talking about and even acting on slowing down. It sounds like they're going to slow down for a while because they think things are better, and they may be, at least on paper. But eventually, Adam, they're going to print money till we run out of trees. Okay. That's what all they know. If there start to be a lot of bankruptcies or even a few bankruptcies, they will get phone calls from people saying, you must save us. This is a matter of Western civilization. You must save us. They will panic and they will print.
Rogers believes that the current financial situation might end up being worse than the Great Depression and that the severity of the coming crash will be unprecedented. Rogers attributes the impending crash to a number of factors, including high levels of debt, excessive printing of money by central banks, and rising interest rates. He further said that even with the effort pumped into the economy, it seems to be coming to an end, and he does know that the world would end in the form of another bear market. Rogers' statement has since sent shockwaves through the financial community, with many experts agreeing with his assessment of the situation. If he is correct, then we are on the brink of an economic disaster, unlike anything we have ever seen before. The global economy is coming to an end. We've been seeing the warning signs for years now, but most people are still clueless about the impending collapse of our economic system. Things aren't going to get better in the near future. In fact, they're going to get a lot worse. Global debt levels have surpassed $200 trillion, which is the highest point in recorded history. In addition to this, over half of the world's population lives in a country where inequality has grown substantially. These indicators signal an imminent global crisis that could rival even the Great Depression of 1929. The crash of markets and currency will be unlike anything we've seen before, and it starts soon. Listen to these carefully.
I don't think that in the history of the world, many central banks have said, too bad, guys, it's time for a lot of bankruptcies. Go down the tubes. That's not the way bureaucrats think. That's not the way academics think. And the end result will be not good for you and me, but it might temporarily save their jobs. To the last time something like this happened, which was the 1970s, inflation kept getting worse and worse, and the central bankers made it worse and worse. But then the president, it was Jimmy Carter at the time, said to Paul Volcker, who he was going to appoint as, he did appoint as head of the Federal Reserve. Volcker was a bureaucrat, but Volcker understood the situation. And Carter said to Volcker, you do whatever you have to do, and I will support you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Volcker didn't believe him at first, but Carter reassured him that he could do anything he had to do. And in the end, of course, Carter lost the election because Volcker did what he had to do. Volcker knew what had to happen. I mean, this will shock some people, but interest rates on Treasury bills, short-term U.S. government Treasury bills went to over 21%.
My goodness.
That's not a typo. 21% on Treasury bills, because Volcker tightened and tightened and tightened. And Carter said, okay. Carter said, okay. Well, it caused bad times, but it killed inflation. Carter lost the election, but it did kill inflation. I don't think that there's a politician in the land today who would do that or support that. And I'm not sure that many bureaucrats. I don't see this guy we have now as another Paul Volcker. And again, you know, in Japan, the head of the central bank has said, I will print his word, unlimited amounts of money. And he's doing it. And the Japanese politicians say, do it, do it, do it. I mean, unlimited. It's unbelievable how much money that guy.
The world is changing rapidly. In the past decade, we've experienced a financial crisis like no other, with stock markets plunging to new lows and unemployment rising. The financial sector is still in denial, but it's not just Wall Street that will be affected in this next wave of change. It's the entire world that will see a massive shift in its economic landscape. What does this mean for you? Prepare yourself and your portfolio for what's coming so you don't get caught off guard by these changes. Listen to these carefully.
We all suffer. You said interest rates are high. Well, they're higher than they were a year ago. But I want to hearken back to 21% Treasury bills, which have happened and can happen again.
In order to prepare for what is coming, or should we say what is already here, it is essential to understand what is happening. The world is currently experiencing an unprecedented financial crisis, the likes of which have never been seen before. This results from years of mismanagement by central banks and government officials. The situation is now so severe that even formerly optimistic analysts warn that a global recession is inevitable. To survive and thrive in the coming months, it is critical that you take steps to protect yourself and your family. Here are some things you can do. Educate yourself about what is happening. Be sure to read and listen to reliable sources of information, such as this video, in order to stay up to date on the latest developments. Build up a reserve of cash. Having cash on hand will be essential in the event that banks fail or markets collapse. Invest in gold and other precious metals. Gold has always been a safe haven during times of economic turmoil and will likely increase in value as the crisis deepens. Create a food storage plan. If food supplies become disrupted, it will be essential to have a stockpile of non-perishable items on hand. As someone who has lived through both the Great Depression and the 2008 financial crisis, Rogers knows a thing or two about economic collapses. And his warning should not be taken lightly. If he's right, then we are all in for a very rocky ride. In your opinion, what do you think can be done to curb the collapse we are currently facing and in the future? Feel free to let us know in the comment section below. Kindly share this video with your family and friends, and don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more updates. Thanks for watching. Anticipate our next video update.